Hello friends, thanks for joining me today. My name is Christine and I'm the owner of Rabbit Trails Homeschool, and today I'm going to show you inside of our new curriculum, Rabbit Trails Through Science Botany. So we just released this week, so if you are watching this in the month of March in 2025, this is brand new for us. So we're really excited to have a new curriculum released. So we are going to go over what books you need. We're going to go over what's inside of this, our companion journal, everything you need to know. So first of all, this is an 8-lesson curriculum. And what that means is it'll take about 16 weeks to get through. We recommend to do all of our units in 2 weeks per lesson. And that gives a nice relaxed feel to all the lessons. You don't have to cram a bunch of science in every single day. This is for elementary ages. And that means any elementary age can do this. You'll see inside of our lessons, there's different suggestions inside of them. And so this is great for kindergarten, this is great for 4th grade, whatever elementary level your kiddo is on. And we also have some middle grade reading list as well. If you're doing like a family school type of style, you can absolutely invite those older kids in and they can be doing some more research, reading some chapter books to go with it. We really want this to be a great option for you to use in your family, no matter the age of your kiddo. So like I said, this has 8 lessons. So those 8 lessons are introductions to plants, seeds, roots, and stems, trees and leaves, flowers, fruits and seeds, plant defenses, desert and aquatic plants, and mushrooms. So you're gonna go into a deep dive, go down that rabbit trail into all of those different topics. So we do have 2 spine books that we use for this curriculum. So a lot of our other curriculum has picture books as our spine, that every lesson will have a picture book that you need to get. Our science is a little bit different in that we have more of like reference book style as our spine. And then of course we go and have picture books that are a part of our Rabbit Trails and Library list, which I will show you in just a second inside the curriculum. So the main book that you need to get with this is Explanatorium of Nature. They just updated their book. So if you have the old Explanatorium of Nature that I have right here, y'all, the only thing that changed was the cover. So all of the content inside of it is the same. So if you have this copy, you don't have to get the new one. You can keep your old copy. Everything inside looks exactly the same, down to the metallic look of those pages. So yeah, so if you don't have it yet, absolutely get the new one, because the old one, I was having trouble finding it new. It's all used copies at this point. So if you want to get a used copy, fantastic. You can absolutely do that. If you want to get a new copy, in my Amazon shop, I have linked inside the curriculum for you, and also on the webpage, you can get it directly from Amazon to get the new edition. It'll just be easier to find going forward. But yes, new or old, doesn't matter. This one has the cute duck on the front of it. So you will also need the book of nature poetry. So all of our lessons have poetry to go along with them for copy work. We've used this book before with biomes, so you may already own it if you are a Rabbit Trails user. So we pulled out more amazing poems from this book because there were so many good botany ones to use that we were able to use it again. So it is a pretty good size poetry book, and it has really beautiful pictures on the inside. So each poem has cool, like, real photography to go with it. Let me show you a couple more. I should have bookmarked some pages that have some pretty flowers on them for you. There's a cool, like, rainforest poem. So you can absolutely use this for all kinds of other things, because there's so many poems in here outside of botany. So really, really cool book. So if you are looking at a biomes curriculum, you'll be using this as well inside of there. So those are the 2 books that you absolutely need to get to use with every single lesson. Other than that, there are lots of suggestions inside of this. So let me show you what a lesson looks like. We also have a flip through of a whole lesson. I believe it's this first one that I'll be going through as well. That you can see a sample of an entire lesson and what that looks like. All of our Rabbit Trails lessons look the same. They'll be laid out the same. But if you've not seen one before, you can look at that lesson sample. We also have a schedule sample for you on the website as well, because we do not give you a schedule inside of any of our curriculum. And I did this on purpose because I have panicked having schedules for our homeschool, because our homeschool doesn't necessarily look like a 5-day-a-week 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock type of school. Sometimes we only school 4 days a week. Sometimes we may have another field trip or appointments or whatever. And so I gave a suggestion of how you could lay it out 5 days a week, but I don't want anyone to feel tied to that. So absolutely, if you are laying each lesson out over the course of 2 weeks, use it however you need to over that 2 weeks. A lot of times we'll do science just twice a week. So we will take different pieces of each lesson and fill them in about 4 days over that 2 weeks, as opposed to all 10 days over that 2 weeks. So it gives you the freedom to make it your own and how you need it to look in your own homeschool, because every homeschool is going to look unique. So you can see that in the sample schedule to see how it could be laid out over 5 weeks and how you could absolutely move those different components to different days to make it work however you want it to work. So let me show you the first page in the lesson. This is our introduction to plants. There's a little heading. So this is our lesson and copywork page. So here it will tell you what pages to read in the Explanatorium of Nature book. It will give you observation and journaling. So every single lesson has something that you can look at inside of the book. Journal, a lot of times there's like cool graphs you can journal, or like in this instance, you're going to looking at the life cycle of a sunflower and you're gonna be putting all of that into your journal. So that's where these companion journals come in great, because it's a really good spot for you to put those, and I'll flip through that in just a minute. Then we have our copy work. So like I said, we're gonna poetry copy work to go with all of it. So it'll tell you where to go in the book of nature poetry. And then there's also Bible copy work, and there's a little Bible lesson at the bottom as well that ties that into whatever it is that you're learning about. So that is what you're gonna see in every lesson, a poetry copy work and a Bible copy work. Next, we're gonna have our Some Fun. And so this is a way to get hands-on in this lesson. So for this one, it is some leaf stamping and then making a tree to go along with that. So you're gonna take actual leaves, you're gonna stamp those down onto the paper. If you need to, using like a spoon and all of that to get those cool leaf prints. So my kids had a lot of fun with this. Like you can see here, we got leaves actually from our yard. This also works really well with spinach if it is winter and there's no leaves like there is right now, because it's March and nothing has grown quite yet. So this is a really cute hands-on activity. And in every single lesson, there will be something hands-on that they will be doing. Next is our rabbit trails and our library list. So this is kind of like a 2-page spread here. So this is where those other picture books that I talked about are coming in. So there is going to be picture book suggestions. If we found some botanists to learn about. There are video suggestions every time on the rabbit trails page, and just more botany books to dive into on the library list as well. So if your kids love picture books, this is where they're going to come in. So they're still gonna get those great picture books, those beautiful illustrations, even though we're using the Explanatory of Nature as our spine. Last but not least, we have the More Ideas page. So this is where you're gonna find, like I said, more ideas. There's a lot on these pages. We have vocabulary, which you will find vocabulary cards inside of the companion journal that I'll show you here in a second. And then just more ideas. There might be ideas for research. They might be ideas for additional YouTube videos. There might be ideas for field trips, for other hands-on activities, for experiments. There's gonna be so many different ideas here depending on what the lesson is. So you're gonna always find different things. So this is where you can really pick and choose. If you have the younger ones, you can find stuff that will just work well for them. If you have older ones, you can dive into those like research type topics. And so you can do all of this. You can pick just a couple of them. You don't have to do all of it. And that's what makes it really beautiful, is you can say, like if your kid's like, I'm not really feeling the seeds lesson, but I love trees or I love mushrooms. You can do all of it for those lessons and just pick and choose for the other lessons to make sure you're covering everything enough. So that is what a full lesson looks like and how they're all going to be laid out. I'm going to show you now inside of the companion journal. So we started making these journals because we wanted somewhere that your kids could put all of their work, because my kids had stuff like in binders and in folders and kind of all over the place. And so I wanted a place to keep everything for each curriculum that we are using. So all of their observation and journaling will be on this first page, so you can have it all in one beautiful spot. There's also pages for copywork, so you can put your poetry copywork on this page. And you can put your Bible copywork on this page, all in one spot. There is a page for the YouTube videos if they want to take any notes from the videos that they watch or draw anything. Same for the Rabbit Trails and Library List. If there's anything they want to jot down or draw based on the books that they read, there's a page for them to do that. And then there are more ideas pages. So how many pages there are for the more ideas depends on how many more ideas actually need paper for it. Because of course, if you're taking a trip to a park, you don't need a page for that in your companion journal. So let me flip to the last one. And then, like I said, there are vocabulary cards. So here is a place you can write down any of the definitions. Those younger kiddos, it is great for them to draw pictures of these definitions as opposed to, writing down the actual definition. Those older kiddos, great for practicing dictionary skills. And then these are blank on the back. So if they want to cut these out and keep them outside of this, they may do that as well. So we wanted to make sure you have that option. If you wanted to put a little ring to hold them all on or anything like that, you can absolutely do that. So let me show you. So this one has observation for different lesson for more ideas. So if there's any charts, maps, anything that you would need, it's all gonna be found in that more ideas there. So you don't have to go searching on Google for it. Let me make sure, I think I got everything for you guys, but let me go through the website and make sure I didn't forget anything. So remember to grab that sample lesson. So that one I walked through, I obviously walked through it really, really quick. So you can really go through that sample lesson, see what all is involved in it. Check out those books on Amazon that I have listed for you right there. So if you are watching this video as a brand new video, we have a botany sale this week only. It ends Sunday at, Sunday, March 25th. Hurry up, calendar, 23rd. I don't even know what day it is. Sunday, March 23rd, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. If you use the code BOTANY20, you can get 20% off of this brand new unit. So make sure to mark that in. Otherwise, I will have the website for you in the description so you can check everything out. I hope you guys enjoy.